I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this K-drama show. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really, really into K-drama. I feel like, and some of the Korean people out there, you guys are probably going to laugh at the way I pronounce these names. You're going to laugh at the way I pronounce these places and things like that. But I have gotten enthralled in it. There was a thread online. I was looking at this thread online about, black people. It was asking black Americans specifically, what's something from your childhood that you remember that doesn't exist now? In a time gone past. What's something that you remember from your childhood? And one person said, I kid you not, I remember that stack of Asian or Chinese action movies, action DVDs in every black home. And I looked at that comment and I literally couldn't do anything but just bust out and laugh, because literally growing up in the 90s and 2000s, every black home had that stack of like Jet Li, Jackie Chan type movies, right? I know that you check back, you go into history, and there's some colonialism that happened between the Chinese, the Mongol rule, the Imperial China rule, and the Korean or Goryeo, joseon dynasties. I told y'all gonna make fun of my pronunciations and stuff. But, the cultures do coincide in different places, and from my understanding, you can actually see that from shows, for instance, like My Sassy Girl, like Empress Ki. I talked to you guys about Empress Ki a while ago. I want to talk to you a little bit about this show that recently is like, I just love it so much. Even my husband is like getting into it. So it's called 100 Days My Prince. So I have this article here from Hive Mindness Media, and this is actually a review. It says, like the dramas I mentioned before, 100 Days My Prince, also known as 100 Day Husband, has a lot of the same roles. She's talking about in comparison to Moon Embracing Sun, Love in the Moonlight, and The King's Affection. I've also seen all of those too. There is a queen, the king's second wife, who has a son by the king and who is keen for that son to become crown prince, so she schemes behind the scenes. There's a crown prince, Li Yul, but he is cold and resents his father for what he did, blaming his deaths on both his mother, the king's first wife, and his true love. More about her later. I won't go too much into the synopsis here. I'll just explain to you. Basically, there's this prince. He was born into a rich family, but as he was young, of course, it's always, I'm going to give you spoiler alerts, but as always, it's one of the evil ministers. And this evil minister, I won't give exacts, but he's been corrupting this prince's life his whole life since he was a young child, and he has blood on his hands. Long story short, oh my God, I can't speak. This young prince, when he was a young prince, was in love with this noble girl. And he basically lost contact with her his whole life up until he's, 28 or something like that. And, but since he went through so much when he was a kid, he's grown up. When he was a kid, he was cool, but he was also kind of like snotty. But as an adult, he's grown up, and he just makes everybody's life hell. He's always talking about how he's an uneasy child. He is just a snob. He's a brat, and he's a douchebag, for lack of better words. He's a douchebag. And the girl, she's living her life off somewhere else. She's no longer a noble lady. Her family has lost their nobility, and she grows up as a pauper, basically. And his whole life, he's craving to see this girl that he was in love with when he was a child. But this evil minister has been sabotaging his whole life, unbeknownst to him. And so, through some sort of, different occurrence of events, he loses his memory and gets amnesia. And he gets adopted into this family, this pauper family, and it happens to be the girl from his childhood. And so it just follows them and tracks this, and that's why it's called My Prince for 100 Days. Prince for 100 Days, right? Prince for 100 Days, My Prince. Sorry. It is so good. I don't know why... I guess you could compare the K-dramas to the telenovelas a little bit. You can compare it to sort of Nollywood even. You can compare it to the American soap operas. I don't know why American media can't follow some of the K-drama precedents that they set, because it's about love, it's about family, it's about tradition, and it's real. it's real. It's not like I've got to impress you every second with this CGI, this like, you know, kind of half-bit CGI. It's not about the production. It's just about this human truth. And I just love that. But if you guys have seen it, let me know what you thought of it. I definitely give it like a 9 out of 10. It gets into some real stuff. It is funny. It'll make you cry. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you sense some human truths in your own life. It's just amazing. And if you are a woman and you ever just need that like good show that you can watch, cuddle up with some chocolate and some tea and like your little Kleenexes, definitely watch shows like all the ones mentioned before: King's Affection, My Sassy Girl, 100 Days My Prince, Empress Key, Love in the Moonlight. All of that stuff is really, really good.